Money is changing, digital currency are growing fast, and central banks must adopt. Are cryptocurrencies a threat to monetary policy or a new opportunity? Let's find out. This is our team members, and now I will leave you with Riham.
Digital currencies are becoming a big part of financial world. On the other hand, they can make it harder for central banks to control money supply and keep the economy stable. On the other hand, they offer new opportunities like faster transaction, lower cost, and helping people who don't have bank accounts. In Saudi Arabia, authorities are exploring how these digital tools can support economic growth while keeping the financial system safe. Our study focuses on understanding these challenges and opportunities. The studies show a few clear points. First, new technology like blockchain can make banking and payment more efficient, but cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are still very volatile. Second, these currencies react to monetary policy but mostly as investment rather than real money. Third, digital currencies can improve financial inclusion and transparency, especially in countries focusing on digital growth. Fourth, there are risks like money laundering and environmental issues which need careful rules. Finally, technical aspects like network structure can affect wealth and stability. Overall, the key message is that digital finance offers both opportunities and challenges, and we need strong framework to manage risk while supporting innovation.
In this slide, I will explain the methodology used in the research. First, the study follows a mixed methods approach, combining both qualitative and quantitative analysis. On the qualitative side, we analyze the regulational frameworks, central bank reports, and academic studies to understand how crypto and monetary policy interact. For the quantitative part, we use economic indicators such as inflation, money supply, the repo rate, digital payment, and financial inclusion. These were analyzed using our software. The data was collected from several major sources, including SAMA, datasets, the Ministry of Finance, the World Bank, the IMF, the BIS, and the coin market cap. The study covers the period from 2000 to 2024, with a strong focus on the years 2015 and 2024. The methods include descriptive and comparative analysis, content analysis, and correlation analysis. We also built an economic model where GDP is the dependent variable and M2, inflation, and the repo rate are the independent variables. A second model uses inflation as the dependent variable. Finally, the study has some limitation, mainly limited Saudi crypto data, market volatility, and the difference in the cross-country data sets.
Hello, I am Wissam, and let's continue. Regression findings. This regression shows that monetary variables do not have any meaningful short-run impact on real GDP. All the p-value are above 0.05, inflation at 0.794, the repo rate at 0.559, and money supply growth at 0.924, which confirms that none of them are statistically significant. The model itself is weak, with an R-square of only 0.0736 and an insignificant F statistic of 0.9031. So overall, these monetary indicators do not explain changes in real GDP during the period we analyzed.
Hi everyone, I am Nadia. The model showed no autocorrelation, confirming stable and reliable results. Money supply positively affected GDP, while higher interest rates reduced growth. Inflation had mixed effects over time. Overall, the study highlights the role of monetary policy in managing liquidity and stability and shows how digital currencies may challenge this control.
Let's continue. Real GDP growth trend in Saudi Arabia from 2015 to 2023. The figure shows the real GDP growth pattern in Saudi Arabia from 2015 to 2023. The trend mainly reflects oil production cycles and fiscal policy rather than monetary factors. Growth was stable before the pandemic, but in 2020 we can see clear drop due to COVID-19 and OPEC production cuts. After that, the economy recovered strongly, reaching about 8.7 growth in 2022, the highest among G20 countries, supported by higher oil output and strong non-oil activity. In 2023, GDP declined slightly because of voluntary oil cuts, but the non-oil sector continued to grow, showing resilience and real progress toward Vision 2030. Overall, the figure highlights that Saudi growth is still driven by oil and fiscal policy, while the non oil economy is becoming stronger over time.
The graph here shows the inflation. Inflation in Saudi Arabia from 2015 to 2023 was mainly driven by economic reforms, oil price changes, and tax adjustments. It increased in years like 2015, 2017, and 22 due to price, performance, and higher VAT, and it declined in years like 2016 and 2019 because of weak demand and lower oil prices. In 2021 and 2022, inflation stabilized as the economy recovered, then slightly decreased in 2023 due to higher monetary policy and stronger Saudi riyal.
This slide presents the change in the Saudi repo rate between 2014 and 2024. From 2015 to 2018, the repo rate remained stable at around 2%. In 2019, it increased to about 3.5%, which aligned with the global interest rate hike and the global crypto boom. In 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the rate was reduced back to 2% to support the economy. However, starting in 2022 and continuing to 2023, the repo rate increased significantly due to the rising global inflation. Another factor affecting the repo rate was increased risk aversion caused by major crypto market crises, including the Luna and the FTX collapses. The chart on the right visualizes these shifts clearly. This slide shows the growth of the money supply from 2014 to 2024. Between 2015 and 2018, money supply growth declined mainly because of falling oil prices. From 2018 to 2020, we see a period of expansion driven by raising digital and crypto transactions in the economy. In 2020, there was a strong increase in the money supply due to the COVID-19 stimulus measures. After 2021, money supply growth became more stable as the government focused on inflation control. The chart on the right highlights these trends and show how monetary policies respond to the economic and global events.
I'm Lean, and at this point we will take Bitcoin as an example of global cryptocurrency and explore how its value has changed over the years. Figure shows the Bitcoin prices since its creation in 2009. In the yearly stages, 2009 till 2012, its value was near zero, but began rising as tech communities adopted. In 2013, Bitcoin jumped to about 1,000, driven by media attention and the Cyprus financial crisis, which pushed many people toward Bitcoin as a safer alternative. In 2014, it collapsed after the fail of MTGOX platform. From 2015 till 2016, prices of Bitcoin was stable. Then in 2017, Bitcoin jumped to 20,000. In 2018, it dropped sharply, then recovered in 2019, and reaching 30,000 in 2020 during the pandemic. In 2021, institutional adoption pushed Bitcoin to new stages. Tesla purchased Bitcoin, and El Salvador adopted as the official currency, increasing global attention. In 2022, major platform failures caused another decline. 2023 saw stability, then in 2024, halving pushed prices above 70,000. By 2025, Bitcoin became more stable and reached about 120,000 due to reduced supply and strong institutional demand. The study found that cryptocurrencies create both risk and opportunities for monetary policymakers. Their decentralization makes it harder for central banks to control money supply and maintain stability. But they also push innovation and encourage the development of central bank digital currencies. In Saudi Arabia, monetary tools like the repo rate and money supply have a limited short-term impact on growth because the rial is pegged to the US dollar, and the economy depends on oil and fiscal policy. The continuous growth of the non-oil shows the progress toward diversification under Vision 2030. Overall, cryptocurrencies and central bank digital currencies are both disruptive and transformative. Their long-term impact depends on how well policymakers manage and regulate digital innovation. The study also recommends Saudi to develop central bank digital currency to enhance security and transparency, create a legal framework for private cryptocurrencies, security, ethics, and environmental rules, also develop new liquidity management tools to prevent money from shifting out of the traditional banking system into digital currencies.
Thank you for listening.